Hello, Patriots. I'm Lee Watts, and this is Patriot Point, your source for Kentucky news and information from a conservative, Christian, and common sense point of view. Well, this week, again, I'm not in my office. I'm still out on the campaign trail, but we wanted to give you some important information. The biggest thing coming up in Kentucky right now are the elections, which are only about 2 weeks away. A lot of people are asking, well, who should I vote for? Where would be a good site where I could see how the candidates stack up according to conservative principles? Well, there are far too many candidates for me to ever discuss on the program, but I have two wonderful websites that you can look at that will tell you about local Kentucky candidates. The first one is called iVoterGuide.com. That is iVoterGuide.com. A group of different conservative organizations here in Kentucky have got together to form a single questionnaire where you can see where candidates stack up. It has got the Freedom's Heritage Forum, the Family Foundation of Kentucky, the American Family Association of Kentucky, the Family Research Council, and they are going to be releasing this iVoter Guide on this coming Sunday. So can't find it today or Saturday, but this coming Sunday, you'll be able to go to iVoterGuide.com. I'm going to put a link in the description to this video that will be the direct link to the Kentucky candidates. You have to add in some extra stuff to get to the Kentucky candidates. A wonderful source for conservatives to be able to look up where do my candidates stand on all of these different issues. Another great website is Liberty Score. Just Google the words Liberty Score, and the very first result to come up will take you to this wonderful website run by people called Conservative Review. And they rank every single member of Congress, not based on what they say or claim, not based on what somebody else says about them, but they actually rank these people according to how they vote. And just click on the picture of Kentucky to bring up all of Kentucky's congressional delegation, both in the Senate and the House. And they've got a little ranking for each and every person. And if you click on their name, it will show you a summary of the bills they voted on, the year, the month, the day, and how they voted. Let's cast some informed votes. Wonderful website called Liberty Score. Google those two words to be an informed voter. And of course, don't forget that the election is May the 17th, just about 2 weeks from now, Tuesday, May the 17th. And it's so important that Kentuckians get out to vote. So often in these primary elections, it has the lowest voter turnout. And sometimes these elections are decided by just 2 or 3 or a handful of votes. So your vote will have more impact than ever. Make sure you go out, do your homework first, and then go out and vote and bring somebody else along who maybe wasn't going to vote that day. But make sure it's a conservative person because you don't want to bring any of the liberals out there. Well, for our next topic, I want to talk about something that is maybe not going to happen. Last week, I was very excited to tell you about how on KET's program called Kentucky Tonight, I've been invited to a debate with my congressional opponent, Mr. Brett Guthrie. Well, the KET people have contacted me and said, well, it looks like Mr. Guthrie may not be showing up. But fear not, if he doesn't, then they are just going to interview me for the allotted time. So I'll still be on that program. That will be May the 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern on KET, the program called Kentucky Tonight. Very interesting that Mr. Guthrie refuses to show up with me and him in front of the people as the judge. He's also not showing up for the WBNA Channel 21 debate that he and I were invited to, which will again just be an interview with me for the entire time. That one is going to be on May the 9th at 9 p.m. Eastern. And he's also turning out to be a no-show at the Ohio County Republican Party. Has invited him and myself to show up on April the 30th for a debate. Once again, if he doesn't show up, I will stand in front of the people. I'll tell them where I stand. Really makes me wonder, why is this guy so afraid to get in front of the people when his record is being exposed? You would think you would be very proud of your record. Well, we'll be talking about that record on multiple TV stations and in front of the people. Now, before we get on to our next topic, I want to give a salute to two young Patriot viewers that we have here on the program. It has come to my attention. We've got some young Patriots just like last week, and I want to send you all a special salute from Patriot Point to Finley and Huxley. This salute is for you. So a salute to some of our young viewers. I am so happy to find out that we're having all of these young viewers watching Patriot Point. It's very encouraging to know that there's a whole generation that is being brought up on conservative principles. And I'm glad you're watching and hope you'll grow up to be a great defender of liberty. Now, in our next to last topic today, I want to talk about something that's been a lot in the news, and that is how Elon Musk, the billionaire, has just bought Twitter. This is incredibly important for the cause of liberty because we have seen ever since he bought that thing that different conservatives who use Twitter, all of a sudden, their memberships have jumped 10 to 25% overnight. You don't gain that many viewers or followers overnight. What has happened is Twitter, being run by the liberals, was artificially blocking the actual numbers that were coming from conservatives. And I think the exact same thing is happening on YouTube and Facebook today. And we also saw that a lot of the liberals who were on Twitter, all of a sudden they have lost 10 to 25% of their followers because they never had that many to begin with. This is a massively wonderful thing for America's First Amendment rights for the freedom of speech. And it got me to thinking of what are some other things that Mr. Musk could buy. So I came up with the top 5 things that Elon Musk should buy. Number 5, he should buy the Dorito company and then actually fill up the bag. I am getting sick and tired of opening Doritos, a big old family-sized bag, and there'll be enough for one small kid during lunch. Number 4 thing that Elon Musk should buy is YouTube. I cannot begin to tell you how many Patriot Point programs YouTube has taken down or blocked before you ever got to see them because I violated their community standards. There's been tons of them, and they're telling me if I ever do it again that they will completely delete the channel. So we've had to be very careful and cautious in how we're bringing you the news, a great violation of America's free speech. I hope Mr. Musk buys YouTube, and let's get some freedom of speech right here. Which leads us to the number 3 thing I would like Elon Musk to buy is Facebook. Again, how many of you patriots have been thrown in Facebook jail because you dared put up something that the leftist liberals controlled on Facebook, again, violating the First Amendment right to free speech? Like him to buy that. The number 2 thing I would wish Mr. Elon Musk would buy would be the state of California. And then I would like him, please, to turn it into the state of Florida. Because we see Florida being run by a conservative. It is doing great. California has turned into a socialist nightmare state. And people are fleeing it left and right. And do you know where they're moving to? Florida. Well, that leads us to the number 1 thing that I sincerely hope that Mr. Elon Musk will buy. Mr. Musk, please buy McDonald's and fix the ice cream machines because they never seem to be working. And summer's coming and it's going to be hot. Well, that leads us finally to our last thing. We have a special presentation for you on this week's Patriot Point. Whenever I go out and speak at different groups as I am campaigning for Congress, I like to use the joke, vote for Lee Watts or what's his name? Because name recognition is very important, and what's his name is my little way of putting a joke that'll make people remember my name. Well, because of that, there's been some patriots who are in the music business who really like what we're trying to stand for, conservative principles, want to help the congressional campaign, and so they've made a music video called What's His Name? And I'm going to close with that today. We're going to be releasing this as a separate video here in another day or 2. I hope you'll copy it, share it. These guys did a great job. The thing, I don't know, I'm just maybe being biased. I think it sounds great. And it really says a lot of the conservative principles that we're trying to stand up for. So we'll close with that video this week. So until next week, I'm Lee Watts for Patriot Point, reminding you that liberty is not a spectator sport.
But we're hanging upside down. The volume's up to the top of our lungs, but we're treated like we make no sound. We come to play with the card up the sleeve, and everybody knows what's happening. We're losing the game cause the cheater got our money and he bought the referee. Now tell me, what's gonna make a change? What's gonna turn the page? What's gonna elevate us to a better state? We've got mountains of faith. Just give us the time, tell us the place. We'll cast a vote for the man that leads the way. What's his name?
Let me in this for just a second.
I don't know if you noticed this trend. You elect somebody, they forget your friends. We soak up the river and they hope you don't remember what was done to you was done by them. We won't change. We're sick of the game. We were born free, not yesterday. We've been pushed to a patriot point, and we the people know that we want. What's gonna make a change? What's gonna turn the page? What's gonna elevate us to a better state? We've got mountains of faith. Just give us the time, tell us the place. We'll cast a vote for the man that leads the way. He's about to wave, leads the walls and keep us safe. Knows it's life at every stage. Just wait, there's more to say.
How about this? He's against the mandates. He's anti-increasing your taxes. He's pro-medical liberty, election reform, and he's pro-constitution.